We do have fake practice conversations in the Astrid app that take place with me and other native speakers, where you can respond to the questions we ask or practice the responses, where you get pronunciation feedback, and you can go try it for free to see if you like it, to see if it helps you by downloading it with the link in my bio. I like the Astrid app because of how our designers have created an experience that breaks down word pronunciation and shows you how to improve, and then recognizes your errors to provide you more advice by power-ups or specific feedback on sounds that are difficult for you, right? So go check it out if you're interested in practicing English speaking and reading, and even some listening too. Oh, Real Madrid, hi to your son. Hi, Zane. So yeah, speaking in English is hard. Definitely start with vowels. If you have pronunciation issues, start with vowels, move to consonants. Make sure consonants that are pairs, like G and K, G, K. Consonants that move the same but sound slightly different really do sound different, right? So we can't make K, K sound like G, G, because then we change the meaning of words, right? So make sure your K and your G are different, and your D and your T are different. Those are pair consonants, right? Because they are the same movement of the mouth, but one has a little bit of voice and one is just air and touching of the roof of the mouth or clicking of the tongue, right? I am from the United States, Isel. English is my native tongue. I do speak Spanish and some Portuguese. I'm doing really well, Reynoso. How are you? I've seen you before. You've been here before, haven't you? Have you? Or was it another person named Reynoso? Mohammed said pick up. What do you mean? Yeah, if you're interested in English speaking skills or English confidence, if you're interested in being more confident as a speaker, please check out the link in my bio for a free English speaking app called Astrid. Yeah, speaking is difficult for foreign speakers, for foreign language speakers, and I, as an accent coach, I was an accent coach for well over a year. I have a degree based in linguistics, and so my focus really is not so much vocabulary building, but sound production, correct sounds, and how the movement of the mouth can change sounds, and then how to reach, your fullest potential in practicing those sounds. So Astrid kind of really goes in line with what I like in terms of language learning. It's not something you see in a classroom, because in a classroom you often get vocabulary, testing. And really I focus on the speaking aspect, on the conversation aspect, on the sound production, and how that can really affect everything you do when you speak a language, right? So Hikba says, I can understand, but when I go to talk, the words just don't come out. And that makes sense. It's a little bit of recalling, right? Recall. You know the words, but recall is hard. You need to kind of test yourself in a way, right? So you can do practice conversations in terms of write down a question you might hear often. For example, where do you work? And make practice scenarios on how you would answer those questions, right? Give yourself different options. When I was learning Spanish, I would take one piece of paper a day, and I would fill every line of that piece of paper. And I would write the same idea every way that I could in Spanish. Meaning I'd write, the table is blue. This table is blue. The blue table is here. I like the blue table. I don't like the blue table. I painted the table blue, right? Using one subject to create lots of ways to say kind of similar things, allowing myself to be able to function in lots of scenarios with the same thing in a language, right? You need to take one thing and expand upon it, right? It's going really well, Saad. How are you? I'm from the United States. If you want to speaking practice app, check out the link in my bio for free. We do focus on speaking and pronunciation in the Astrid app. Gerba, the best way to learn English is to be proud of your own work. Always be dedicated. Don't be too hard on yourself. Be patient. That's the best way. And to always want to learn more. You will only improve with how much you want to improve. If you don't want to do it, you're probably not going to do it. Oh, Nick, the word get is the hardest word. You can get lots of things. You can get sick. You can get hungry. You can get a book because you bought it. You can get over it because you've surpassed the emotions of it. Get is one of the hardest verbs. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to explain it in a TikTok live. Fuad, I speak Spanish, English, and some Portuguese. Some. I understand everything. I have that problem in Portuguese. Like, I understand you. And then I go to speak, and it's like mostly Portuguese, and then Spanish takes over. I'm like, it's hard. If you like my teaching method, we have a lot of videos of me teaching in the Astrid app. Check us out with the link in my bio for free. Thanks, Gael. Gael. One of my favorite actors is named Gael. He's my famous crush. Oh, Spanish is your native tongue. That's awesome, Sam. My English level, I'm a native speaker. My parents speak only English. I hope my English is really good. If my entire life I've spoken English. Oh, Hikba, I'm speaking this way on purpose. If you met my family and saw how we talked, you also would not understand us. We talk very differently. I have a voice for speaking to students, for speaking to those who may not speak English as well. I often get told on TikTok, slow down, speak clearer. So I'm very purposeful about it these days. So a lot of people ask this question that Belete asks, or Belit, what book can I read? There are hundreds and hundreds and thousands of millions of books in the world. And the best advice is not that there's a book you should read. It's that you should read books at your level. Find your level of English and read at your level. If you want to challenge yourself, read one level above. But if you start reading books that are just too hard because they're classics or they're should reads or you have to read them, it could discourage you. And that's the last thing you want. I don't teach for Brazilians, but I teach on the Astrid app. Gilvan Check out the link in my bio if you want to try it. Something in Russian. I went there when I was 9 years old in the year 2001, and I learned a couple numbers. 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8. I don't think that's right. That's what I know, like a few numbers, that's it. Spasiba. Spasiba means thank you, does it? If you want to speak English, you should practice, you should dedicate yourself, you should try the Astrid app with the link in my bio. Oh, Samir asks, can you post more conversations in different situations? I can. That's on my list of future posts for TikTok. Please give me a conversation scenario you would like to see, and I will make it. I'm from the United States.